So I'm just going to start off. So for many of you, you've been going to Hannah's sessions, not even just this month, but probably last month too. And I have talked about a whole variety of different Google tools. Both sessions with Hannah were sponsored by the Grow with Google grant that we received. So today I'm going to offer this. So if you've been trying out some of these neat things that I have shown off, and you have any questions or are stumbling at all, please reach out to me at this email address because I am very happy to help you with any questions you may have. And I hope everybody is giving some of these new tools a shot because many of them I use regularly in my own professional life, and I find them very, very helpful. So that's all I'm going to say because I know Hannah has lots of exciting things to go over today, and I don't want to take up any of that time. So I will turn it over to Hannah.
Thank you, Stacy, and welcome you all. It's so good to see you here today. Like these are the diehards here, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started, but I'm actually sort of hoping that we have some people who are brave enough to share some of their work. Do we have anybody that's brave enough to share some of their wonderful work?
I'm happy to. It's Robin.
Oh, I'd love to see it. You know what? So let me do this. Let me not share my screen so we can maximize what we can see. Who said that? I missed that.
It was Robin.
Okay, Robin. Here's the thing. I think that if you want to, you might be able to share in the chat box. You can upload a file into the chat box. So if anybody wants to upload their draft of their infographic resume as an uploaded file, then what I will do is share it on the screen so we can all see, and that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Nigel, I can't wait to see yours. Oh, did you do one too, Stacy? Did you finish one?
Well, I could share the one that I did for my annual report, but I truthfully did not do another one, but I'm happy to share my annual report.
Yeah, we'd love to see that.
Okay.
Because every little bit helps. Oh, good. Look at Robin. That's awesome.
Okay.
So many things to click through. Okay, so now, are you going to do yours first, Stacy?
Not yet. I don't have it yet. I'm working on getting it out.
All right, then let me do, I'm going to share Robin's because I've got that up now.
Perfect.
Oh, interesting. What's going on here? Okay, share screen. There it is. Okay, can you see this now? Everyone can see it? So, Director of Programs, Robin Reese, woo, woo, woo. What, I'm just going to scroll through and slowly we can take this in and then we can have, I think, and I can't see the very bottom, but I think you did this in PowerPoint. Is that correct, Robin?
It is correct. And yeah. I actually, I'm not certain about the colors, but I wanted to try and get the content down before I finish the rest of it.
Yeah. So, and I see that you're starting to play around with some icons here, like the Creating Impact has one, but the other roles don't.
No, because this is it was the story in a timeline way, and I'm looking for work. So I
Oh,
actually wanted to focus on the fact that this is future, like looking to the future.
okay. So what does creating impact, will that be in a director of programs role?
Yes.
Okay. So you almost might want to use director of programs instead of creating impact. Use director of programs, make it look like the others, so that then I might be able to follow that a little bit.
Okay.
Like the same, and then you can have for the job part of it, instead of Ontario Health Data Platform, you'd have creating impact through strategic opportunities, right, at next employer, or whatever that might look like. So you've got a good list of skills here. I'm liking that. When we look at the known for, is that what people have said about you?
Yes, it is. Yes.
So what if you've formatted that somewhat differently? And I know it might be limited based on what you can do with the PowerPoint template, but I'd almost love to see these in quotes. So maybe instead of a bullet, you could use a quote, reducing silos by working across internal partners. Even if it's not a direct quote, is close enough, right? People have said this stuff about you. So if you use quotation marks, and I think there's a quotation icon actually in the Word stuff that you could use to frame that, might be sort of cool to do that for each.
Okay.
Because I'm looking for more visual. I don't want people just to see a mass of bullets and move through it. You know, I want people to really take it in. So we want to slow them down in how they're looking at this. So another way to do that is maybe switch the known for with the achievements and use each one of the known for as a separate area, and then use the achievements up there with those icons. I would maybe swap those.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm looking at it from what's going to have the greatest impact, and making sure people are taking in this information in a way that makes sense to you. You know, and it's going to be helpful. So I would love to also see you label your interests, because it's more than just swimming. There's a story behind that swimming, right? And I bet you it's not any kind of cuisine or gardening that you remember. I think, like, if you can make it even that much more personalized by putting just a fun, a short little qualifier underneath each one of those icons, that spells it out just that much more.
Okay.
What else do you all think about this? Does anyone else have any thoughts or feedback on this?
I think it's absolutely fantastic, you know, especially with the timeline. I was actually procrastinating over how to do a timeline, and I think that's absolutely wonderful, really.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I really like the symbols for the interests at the bottom.
I just borrowed them from one of the templates that I was, one of the sites.
Yeah, Microsoft has some cool icons that you can use like that. Okay.
This is Elizabeth, and I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so proud of you, Robin, that you did this. And I was almost thinking that perhaps ending with the achievements, so putting the interests before that, so that then the achievements are what are really setting you apart with what you're trying to go for. So that was just a thought I just had in looking at this lower part. And then where you had like the people who had said what you were known for, to not only put them in quotes like what Hannah has mentioned, but maybe just put them the initials of the person, like NP or whoever said it, so that it's like in quotes, and then people kind of know that someone said that about you.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, it's so fun to see. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna thank Thank you, Robin, for going first. That was awesome. I'm now going to go find another one that, oh shoot. And, I don't know if I've done this right now. No, that's the same one. These are in sort of no particular order. Oh, this is Kathy. Okay, now let me share my screen. Uh-oh. There are many steps involved here. All right, there we go. So can everyone see Kathy's?
Yes.
Okay, I'm scrolling. I love the timeline, Kathy.
Well, now that after you looked at Robin's, I need to put like VP of sales up at the top, but
Yes, that would be nice, like right in there somewhere.
Mm.
Or maybe even put it in a box underneath. No, that might be too much. Oh, I like how you did the skills. So the only thing, yeah. Look at this. You guys are awesome. And look at you, you've used some testimonials. You may want to give them a white background or somehow find another way to
like a
make them,
box or something.
yeah, to make each one of them stand out. That's awesome. And oh, it's so much fun. Watch out for your spacing here in the call outs. You may need to make the font smaller in the 15 years and in the revenue to make it fit in there. And look at all your interests, right? You are like, I remember you, Kathy, as like the chocolate chip cookie recipe lady, right? I don't, but it would again, like these interests, the interests are great. And I love the icons, but they don't paint the whole picture. Maybe that's on purpose and by design. I almost would rather see like, you know, the specific part of that, like sort of like I was asking Robin, you know, what kind of cooking is it that you do? What kind of books do you like reading? Where do you like to travel to? Who was the person in this group that rode 2 camels on 2 different continents?
I don't know.
No, maybe they haven't come back
Ah,
since they
Sue.
first.
Sue said she did.
Who was it?
Sue.
Oh, so I use you all the time in all my workshops now.
That's great. I'm happy to give you my picture. I just can't be on
And
video
I was
right
in one
now.
of your sessions the other day and you mentioned that to other people.
Yes,
Two
'cause I
camels, and
find it
thought,
so
I know where
interesting.
she said she was never going to forget that.
Oh, so thank you for that, Sue, that wonderful memory. Anyone else have anything for Kathy? I'm so excited about how that turned out, Kathy. I love your use of colors.
Yeah, I can't, the reason why I picked this colorful one is I love color and I didn't want just 2 colors. So this is a way for me to do that and not be too much.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's got a nice little impact.
Kathy, what did you use? What program did you use? I missed
I
it.
use Canva.
Oh, it's
Okay.
really nice.
And did you use a template or did you start it from scratch?
I did a template and then I changed it. I kept the template on here in case anybody wanted to look at it. It's black and white rainbow infographic. I think it's a free one. I did a 30-day free trial so I could use more graphics and things. Like I changed things out. This isn't exactly how it looks, but they had the timeline on there. They had like a lot of circles. They had a lot of the components I wanted. And then I just tweaked, like they had the timeline in the middle. I moved it up to the top, etc. But that's the template I started from.
Yeah. And yeah, it's called the black and white rainbow infographic resume. So
Yeah, I kept it named in case anybody wanted to.
Thanks. And so I just want to let you know that, well, I can download these. Other people can download them too, in our group only. So if you're okay with other people, you know, downloading it,
Sure.
And so let me go open the next one. Ooh, it's Gary. Gary Wood.
Oh no, Mr. Bill.
And we see Gary. Ask the supply chain guy. There he is, right up front, right, with his heading. I like your color choice. I like that yellow. It's very eye-catching.
Thank you.
The
Think
heading
about
is really good
Pittsburgh.
too. That's something you won't forget. Ask the supply
Yeah.
chain guy. That's good.
Thank you. If you Google that, you'll get me.
Oh,
You'll get my
really?
website.
Oh,
That's awesome.
that is awesome.
I would almost like to see helping clients deliver exceptional value to their customers through supply chain optimization highlighted more, like almost right underneath the supply chain guy.
All right.
Because that's like the value that you provide.
Hmm.
Will do.
Just thoughts, not a.
One thought is you could maybe make that as a button that would go, or like a badge, and yeah, oh, like approval kind of thing, you know, sometimes you can find a circle with little like triangles going around it, and I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah. So my overall impression, Gary, is I like your use of color. I'd love to see more icons or graphics that represent some of the stuff that you're talking about, because otherwise it's just a colorful resume, right? Part of this is what do you want to, what can you replace with words and make more visual? Like, I think these specializations might be a fun thing to change into a pie chart, or maybe a horizontal bar chart, just to give it some visual appeal. Again, I'm certainly no graphic designer, but I want
You guessed it. You guessed it.
but I'd love to see you incorporate more graphics in this.
Okay.
To make it different. And
Yep.
so the other thing that you could do with this education, I've seen other people do this, is to use the logo from your college for Pennsylvania State. Penn State's sort of a well-known school, right?
Yeah, they have a logo.
Yeah, maybe you
The
could use the
chipmunks.
logo for MCC and Penn State there to really highlight the education, and then you would use fewer words.
Got it.
Oh, where's the fishing? I need to see a fishing pole there.
I couldn't find one. and I got that at the end, trying to put more graphics in.
Then you could get. So
I'll
which
get
tool
more.
did you use? Canva?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the things that you might want to try going to PowerPoint and see if they have any icons for fishing, hockey and football and golf, because you might be able to just get all of the icons from PowerPoint and copy and paste that graphic in here.
Got it.
Because I'm all about being cheap, right? Saving money. A lot of words over here, Gary. So is there, again, thinking
Yes.
about taking this, this is phase one. Phase two is looking at this through the lens of what words can I take out and replace with something visual? Like this whole aerospace components firm, that's worthy of a visual. Like you need to put a rocket in there somewhere to capture that to people. Maybe it's before the supply chain, maybe somewhere else, but I think that there's some really good visuals that could be used here to further capture people's attention. It's really, but how fun is this? That's great. I give you wonderful credit for being creative.
Thank you.
Anyone else have thoughts about that for Gary?
My only thought was to break up with, like you said, with the words. And I thought a chart and then a bar chart would capture some of those two components we were talking about. And then you'd have a round and a bar, and you have a lot of, things you could do on the side or whatever. I thought that would be good in that resume. I like that. I thought it looked good.
Definitely keep the color choice.
So now I'm going to show Stacy's sample work. Stacy created her annual report. Can everyone see this? Can you see it?
Yep.
And so what she's used different, numbers, because it's all about the numbers, right, Stacy?
Yeah.
And icons. And I love the subtle background image of some event that happened at, it looks like kids, for the library. Right. So there's so much, so think about your professional life, right? The conversion of data into infographics is something data visualization is what it's called in the world of work. And data visualization is a huge field. There are people who get paid money to take data and convert it into visuals. So I think that if this is something that, you were interested in, just imagine where you could go with it. Stacy, what program did you use?
Venngage.
Venngage.
And that was one of my first annual reports, I think, that I did using Venngage.
So Robin, you had a question I wondered about the color. Is it advisable if it needs to be printed? Wasn't sure. Were you talking about your specific color or color in general?
More generally, just wondering, is it worth doing a black and white version and then a color version? I don't know.
So the beauty of this infographic is that it's in color, isn't it? And I would hope that, if you really, if somebody really wanted to print it, they know they're printing it in color. That's their choice. But it really is always going to look better on the computer screen.
I was really impressed by the one that had the people in the background as like a watermark. I was wondering, that's one that's destined for viewing online, isn't it, really, rather than printing out, because it looks too good online.
Yeah. When you do that, it's like a subtle way to remind people what goes on at your organization, or if you did it personally, maybe you have a picture of yourself presenting lightly in the background or doing something relevant.
Riding camels.
Or camels, yeah, whoever did.
So I had Suzanne, is it Suzanne? I have this whole thing. You need to have a camel theme for your infographic resume. So there's a camel sort of as a icon that goes before each one of your headers. And that would just be enough for somebody to say, what's the deal with a camel? And then you could say, I've ridden camels on 2 different continents.
That would be
anyway,
so
that
cool.
was my whole theme idea for camels, just because it's interesting. Anne, did you figure out how to upload yours?
Yes, thank you.
It's thinking?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. We'll see. I'm not seeing anything yet. Might be. Oh, okay. So Richard has posted his contact information. Hi, Richard.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Do you have your graphic too? Is it in your LinkedIn?
I do. It's not my LinkedIn.
Oh,
It's terrible, but not bad. Not bad for starting at about 1:10 Eastern time.
You're a last minute Nelly.
Oh, well, the good thing is I had an interview that was scheduled and then it got rescheduled at the last moment. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'll scramble and see if I can get something. Yeah, so I think mine will be much like Gary's. I'll try to upload it here.
Okay. Tammy, did you have one that you were working on that you wanted to share with us? Are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Well, I do. I can't figure it out. It's not even, I had done it in a different program. I didn't like it, so I redid it. It's not finished though.
Can we just say that it's a draft?
Oh, it is. Oh, it's definitely a draft. I'm trying to figure out how to get it uploaded there because I did it in Canva. So I think I can, it says you can share a link.
Yeah, you could share that link and put it right in the comments.
Okay. All right.
And what I did is I downloaded it, and then you can just go, you know, in the chat, you can pull from your downloads if that's easier for you.
I tried doing that, but it looks like you need to, be, I guess, on the pro side, because whenever I go to download it, it says it wants me to.
Oh,
pay
because you
something.
must have an icon or something in the formatting that's a pro version.
Yeah, maybe.
And usually you can see some Canva watermark if it is. Richard, you've opened yours. I'm going to go see if I can.
have an idea. Tammy, can you take a screenshot of what you've done and then upload the screenshot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now
Let's try that.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
So Richard, I'm gonna, ooh, I like your colors, Richard. Let me share.
It's probably the only thing you like.
Okay, so here we've got Richard.
Ooh.
Right? It jumps out at you, those colors.
Yeah, it almost looks like I attended the University of Illinois.
Did you almost?
Which I
are
did.
those are colors?
And that's not bad.
You're a Big Ten
ILLINI.
guy. You're a
There you
Big
go.
Ten guy.
Yeah, I'm a Big Ten guy, and I really liked what Gary had, you know, the black and gold. I said, that's University of Iowa, where I went to school. But
So,
yeah, what I was trying to do here, this was done on Canva, just so people know. And again, I kind of stumbled in there at the last moment and said, okay, let me try something. So I saw something, and in the lower right-hand corner, what's attracted my attention was the skills. Okay, this was a bubble chart initially.
oh, it's still
Okay.
there.
Yeah, it's still there. I just, you know, I just kind of struggled with, okay, trying to do something with it. And so I started at the top, you know, name and contact information, yada, yada, yada. And I think I got down to the interests, and I must have deleted what was there. But you know, I was trying to show in the skills portion of it, bubble charts, kind of an indication of how much time I had spent working in each of the areas, and perhaps showing some overlap of skills.
Cool. And I think they're there. I think it's a matter of bringing it back, clicking on the bubbles, that one that's sort of peeking out there. I think they're just behind everything. So you just need to bring them forward.
Okay. Okay.
Or send the pink back, the pinky red back, and then bring them forward. So they're just little things like that. The more you use the program, which none of you really want to be experts in Canva, but the more you do sort of discover these things, the more you're like, oh, I know how to fix that. But I like where it's starting to go.
Yeah, it was just pretty simple, but you know, when you were talking about, was it Gary's profile? I've worked I've supported the automotive, aerospace, industrial, and rail arenas, and you know, I don't know if Canva would have that those icons there, but perhaps PowerPoint would.
Yes. So I would add under employers, I would add industries, and then under the industries, you would have the different icons for those different industries that you were in. So see if you can find them in PowerPoint. I bet you could get them in PowerPoint, and all you need to do, like, you can't transfer them into Canva as the image. You'd have to transfer it from PowerPoint and upload that image of the 3 different industry icons as a picture into so that would be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of looking around for something while you were looking at somebody else's, but was it Stacy's that had the image that was kind of lighted out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I've done that a couple times before with photographs I've taken. And one really cool one was when I traveled to China. And if you've never seen Shanghai at night, it's just beautiful the way it's lit up. And I imposed one of those on a background of a slide one time, and you can just, I forgot what the term, Stacy, is it shaded out or
watermark, I think.
Yeah,
right?
like a watermark.
transparency or something like that.
Transparent background. That's what I would call it, but
Yeah, you can adjust how much of that image shows through. I don't know if it's 10 to 100%, if you will. So that's an option as well.
So think about that. You know, it's almost hard to choose just one theme, right? Because I would love to see that photograph somewhere but it doesn't really go with the flow of what you're doing now. But that might be another version of your infographic resume.
Well, I was thinking of something like a kind of a team session where it'd be like a group of people. I think that would be valuable for almost anybody that's in this in this session.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a team efforts.
So this is Tammy. Thank you for downloading this, Tammy.
yeah.
You are welcome.
You're a firecracker, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
I love that term. How about making this whole thing firecracker themed? Like, what if you found a firecracker and you could use that behind, instead of the pink with the pink bar, use a firecracker? And you could use that behind the profile and behind the work experience. It would be fun to carry that theme through. Just an idea.
If you had a nice picture of fireworks and it was your transparent background image instead of the gray, that would be kind of neat.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, I like the colors actually do have a specific meaning. My husband and I do a lot of hunting together. So I wear a lot of pink camo.
Wow. I didn't even know they made pink camo.
Oh yeah. So
I don't see your interests on here.
I told you it was just a draft. I'm not done yet.
All right, so we can look forward to seeing the hunting on here in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
I love where this is going, Tammy. It's a fun start. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Awesome. Did we have? Did I miss anybody's? I'm going back through to see. Did I get everybody's? Did I show? Does anyone else want me to share theirs? And did yours ever upload? Did you have one, Trisha, that you wanted to share with us? I see you're here now. You're muted. You're still muted. That's okay. These are so much fun. Okay, so we've got about a little less than half an hour left together, right? And this will be the last time I'm going to miss you all, but you all have my email address. What, Elizabeth, were you talking?
I was just saying, wait.
Oh, you're muted again.
Okay, we miss it already. I can tell this is such a great group. It's so awesome.
It is a great group, isn't
And
it?
you, and you have been a phenomenal instructor as always, Hannah. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
It's truth.
Yeah, it's been fun. Don't stop. I want you to finish this project. I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to share my slides today so that you have a better idea of what to do with this when it's actually done. But I want you to carry through. I want you to finish this. I can't wait to see the final products when you actually get to that point. So let me just share with you what you're going to do with this. Okay. So, there we go. We're going to talk about naming your file because that's really important, and where to save it, and where to put it, and where to share it. That once you've gotten it done, because I don't want this just sitting on your laptop or on your desktop. In case you had forgotten that where some of these templates were, I hope that you all have actually gone to the video and downloaded the handout, because I want you to save those handouts to your desktop or somewhere so that you can come back and reference some of the different templates that we mentioned and things like that. So I didn't want you to forget. I thought that it would also be helpful just to give a couple of basic design reminders. And I'll say again all day long, I'm not a designer, right? But that's one of the reasons why I love templates. It makes it that much easier to be a better designer. But there's some basic rules: 2 fonts, no more than 2 fonts, and fonts that go well together. So I want you to be purposeful and make sure that those fonts and the font size all works. Pair your colors well. And how did I know that this was going to be an issue? Use fewer words. I want you to go through this next version of your infographic resume and look at what words you can replace with pictures, images, icons, or logos. That would be like the next version of that. And then the layout and spacing also really matters. So pay attention as you get to the final stages of how this visually fits on the page. Is it centered, aligned? So I wanted to help sort of give you a little test here and ask you what you thought. This was a professionally designed infographic that I stumbled upon. What do you think about these color matches? How are they working for you? Do you think that the Amazon Goldman Sachs purple goes with the blue? No, it doesn't. It's just off, because what I'm looking at so far in this template is that they're using a subtle blue and versions of gray. Well, that purple doesn't even match anywhere on the color wheel. So if you wanted to use this blue and that gray, you could go back and plug those colors into the Adobe Color tool and find a better color match. And I was playing around with the Adobe Color tool this morning as I was sort of putting together the finishing touches on this. It's such a powerful tool, especially if you know you want to use more than one color. Do you want to use monochromatic and use other versions of that same color? So it's just a really fun way. I think that all of these tools have their own built-in colors, but if you wanted to get a little bit more sophisticated than what the options were that they were suggesting, don't forget about the Adobe Color tool.
And I just want to remind you, I believe I linked the color wheel tool underneath the second week's video. One of the videos has the link, so if you've lost track of it.
Thank you for doing that, Stacy. And for any of you that ever use plugins or extensions, Google extensions, there is a color pick extension that I was playing around with again this morning that allows you to click on something on on a web page, and it will read the color of what that is. So it'll try and match different colors. So if you find a color on the web and you like that and you're like, oh, I love that color, I want to incorporate that in my graphic, Google has a color pick tool. So there's our mention of Google. This is blurry, I know, I'm sorry, but this is too much text in one block. Would you agree?
Mhm.
The idea is to make your infographic skimmable. You want people to just be able to quickly glance at something. And so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs-ish that are, not that it's bad information, but it's too much altogether. If he wanted to have different text boxes with different thoughts, maybe that's something, but this is just too much text. Would you agree? Yeah, we're going to try and cut down on the text. So, and then this is just riddled with all kinds of different problems. So you want to tell me some of the problems that you see with this?
Oh, the text is quite appalling, really. The two big chunks.
Wait, say that. What are you saying that again, Nigel? You were
The two blocks of text. I think they're italic and they're far too small. There's too much text there as well.
Yeah.
I think I get bored after reading them after the first few words.
Yeah, I know. So in those lines on the experience timeline are all crisscrossy, and it makes it very very difficult to read. Yeah.
Too many colors.
Yes, different. Yes, they're mixing up all the colors here. There's no consistency there.
He's using a lot of different fonts. It's not just two.
No, I know. There's way more than 2 fonts going on. Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that I wouldn't even want to get started reading. So I would just bypass it entirely because there's way too much.
Yeah, it is too much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see his CV either.
You don't really know where to start either. I mean, it's like your line of sight doesn't.
Yeah, there's no flow at all.
Yeah.
Richard?
I was going to say it's an interesting timeline, though. I mean, you just can't read it so well, but it's kind of an interesting way to show, for example, the gold in the background kind of represents the entire working history.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bar charts are, below it are kind of an interesting way to sub-segment the experience, presumably over a period of time.
Yeah, and I can't really read this either, but I think the colors are supposed to represent industry expertise. So like the light blue is one industry, the purpley mauve is another industry, the blacky kind of is another industry, and that's why I think he has to have all those companies listed up above. But that's sort of an interesting way of trying to show that if it were clearer, it's just hard to read. I like it too, though.
Yeah,
like that alone, if it didn't have would be cool.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting way to show a timeline. And I was thinking about it in terms of like functional experience.
I think that could be a great way.
Perhaps within a company or multiple companies.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the idea that he has stats on there, but I don't know what the clouds are. And it's too hard to figure out. So this is an example of what not to do, because there's a lot of stuff that's not working. I think any one of them is easily fixed, but they're just not, it doesn't flow. I think it's lacking flow in design 101. So when you think about downloading your infographic resume, and this rule kind of sort of applies to when you're saving your regular resume as well, you're going to save it on your computer, right? So you want to save it as something that when you upload, that name will carry through and be findable. So I recommend, because a file name is also searchable online to a certain extent. So when you're naming your infographic resume that you download. Use your first name, last name, and the job title that you are pursuing. And if you want to, you can use infographic resume 2 in the title of the document, but you don't need to. Because no one will ever search for infographic resume. They may search for resume, but they're not searching for the term infographic resume unless they're like me or you and they're looking for samples of infographic resumes. But your name and your job title or occupation is the most important part of your file name. And so sometimes when you download it, depending on the system or the process of the software that you're using, it will allow you to save it as a PDF. Sometimes it will only allow you to save it as a JPEG or a PNG, which are picture files. You're going to want it as both, and you'll understand why in a little bit. If you save it as a PDF, you can use Adobe to convert it to a JPEG or a PNG file. So very simply, if you've created your document as a PowerPoint, then you know that you can easily save it as a PDF. But you can also, if you scroll down further, know that you can save that presentation picture as a JPEG or a PNG, a picture file. Okay, so Microsoft Word gives you those options. If you're downloading it from Canva, I think Canva may default to a PDF, but I think you can also select it to save it as a PNG or a JPEG file. So it's important because you're going to want a picture file and a PDF, and I'll show you why here in a second. The wonderful thing is that now you've got your infographic resume downloaded onto your computer, but now you're going to want to post it, right? So if you want to post your infographic resume as a LinkedIn status update, you know, on your home screen, it says start a post, then you're going to need to use a photo or a video, but we don't have a video. We need to upload a photo. You cannot upload a PDF file in a post. So that is why you're going to want to have a picture file, a PNG or a JPEG file to upload as a post so that you can share this as a status update with all of your network, because you want everybody in your network to see this thing so that they can say, cool, love it. And they can potentially share it with other people. So in order to convert your, if unfortunately the tool that you used only allows you to save something as a PDF, Adobe, which is a very well respected platform and tool, they have a conversion tool that allows you to save a PDF to a JPEG. And that's the URL there, and maybe that'll make it somewhere else. But it's very, if you just search Adobe tool, PDF to JPEG, you'll find it. But the reason it's important is because you're going to want to share a picture of your infographic as a status update. So then the next question that you might be asking is, well, what am I going to say in my post when I share my infographic? Well, this is actually an infographic that, and the post that, of a woman that shared her thing on LinkedIn. And so her post started off with, can you contribute? Oh, what can you contribute to our company, Victoria? Her name is Victoria Sidnokovich, or something like that. So she wrote all of this post. I always like to challenge myself. During my career, I chose roles where I could learn, improve my skills, and gain knowledge to advance my professional development. So it's sort of almost like a cover letter. She's explaining her why. And then the picture that she uploaded was this infographic that she created. So that's exactly why you would want to have your infographic as a picture. So you, like Victoria, could do a little self-promotion, just a little, right? You want people to see this. So the other option that I hope you also would look at is uploading your infographic into your featured section on LinkedIn. And lucky for us, LinkedIn lets us use any kind of media. So you can upload photos, documents, and presentations all into the featured section. You could also do a post. So let's say you posted your infographic resume as a post picture on LinkedIn, and you got a lot of great responses. You could then say, okay, I want to save that post that did really well and got all those likes and reactions and comments. I want to save that post in my featured section. So you could save that post and all of its comments so that it shows up in your featured section, or you could just save the plain old media. So you've got a couple of different options. Does this make sense to folks? Okay, good. The other thing that I'm hoping you might think about is the fact that Facebook has a whole realm of people that you're connected with that are friends and family that don't really know what you do professionally, but they would love to help if you gave them the right opportunity. So this is something that a friend of mine posted a while back ago. He says, I don't typically post this type of thing on Facebook, but I'm looking for a job. If you know of anyone hiring outside sales or business development people, let me know. He got a bunch of comments, right? He ended up getting a job. And there's sort of a problem with this because he only shared it with his network. I can tell by those two little heads, he probably wanted to share it with as a public post so people could share it. But I would think that you would probably want to write something more complete when you share your infographic resume on Facebook with your network. Explain a little bit more. As many of you know, I've been looking for working at XYZ company as a project manager. I'm currently looking for a new opportunity in financial project management. So go into some more detail in writing and then upload that infographic, and then people can easily share that and take action on that. And in the handout that's going to be with this replay, I share all of this language with you, the samples of what to say, so that you can have that kind of example language in case you choose to share it on Facebook. And Instagram is owned by Facebook, or they're owned by the same company. And Instagram is really known for being an image-based social network. If you are already active on Instagram, I'm not suggesting that you go join Facebook or Instagram to do this, but why not tap into your existing network on Instagram if you already have tons of followers there, right? So upload your infographic resume. Notice that, you know, it's a square image. The whole thing may not fit. You might need to cut and paste it a little bit into a square image, but that's beyond our level of expertise today. And then you get to write this whole thing. This is actually somebody who was promoting another line of business. He does architectural drawings of historic buildings, right? And so one of the things about Instagram is that hashtags give you greater visibility. So what's important on Instagram is not only the quality of the visual image, what you say, but the hashtags you use. So people ask me a lot, well, what hashtags should I be using? And I thought I had a list here of the different hashtags. It's in the handout for sure. Hashtags that you would want to use on Facebook, but more importantly on Instagram, would be the job title as a hashtag that you're looking for, the occupation, the industry, all of these things. So more is better, right? Even if it's not exactly right on, you want people who are searching for that hashtag or following that hashtag to see your infographic resume come up. So industry, occupation, job title, certifications. If you, like Gary, you're a green belt, right? Or are you a green, maybe you're a black belt, I can't remember, but that might be a hashtag that you would use. Other certifications, technology that you know how to use could be hashtagged. You may want to even hashtag open for work, or ONO, open to new opportunities, are a couple of hashtags that people use. for helping people identify the fact that they're open to new opportunities. Is anyone on Instagram?
I am.
It's just another place where you've got followers, right?
Yep.
Okay. So snippets of your infographic resume might be really cool there.
Okay.
What about Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter too.
Because I'm in job hunt chat on Twitter. So I don't know if that's where I met you in. I don't know, but
I love
in job
Twitter.
hunt chat.
So
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, I can't see who's talking because
It's Wanda. I don't have a
hi,
picture
Wanda.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that I have a lot of followers on Twitter. The only thing I use Twitter for is job searching. I don't use it for the gossip, for the celebrities. I don't use it for any of that, only for job hunting.
Okay.
So I think putting it on Twitter would be a good thing too in your hashtag.
Absolutely.
Such as job hunt chat, hashtag hire me, hashtag.
Yes.
So yeah, I
yes.
think Twitter's good.
Yep. So the same hashtag rules would all apply: job title, occupation, ONO, and then, job hunt chat, all of those things. Yes, Wanda. And just because here's the deal on Twitter, images that are horizontal, not vertical, do better. So keep that in mind. You may want to just take a part of your infographic resume and share it on Twitter, and then have a link back to your LinkedIn profile, so people could go find out more about you. And that's really the case with any of these things. Like, where do you want these people to go learn more about you? On Facebook, you're going to want to send them to LinkedIn, right? On Instagram, you can't really embed a link. That's not how that platform works. So you may want to tell them how they can contact you. DM me if you want to get in contact or whatever. On Twitter, you probably want to link back, embed that link to your LinkedIn profile. And you might say, to see my full LinkedIn profile, click here. Yeah, so Twitter's awesome. Love Twitter. Okay, so I talked about several different places where you can post your infographic. Where are you going to commit to post your infographic? What's your platform of choice? You can unmute yourself. We're small enough.
Twitter.
Twitter for Wanda.
Got to start with LinkedIn.
Where, Nigel?
LinkedIn, you've got to start there.
Yeah, LinkedIn's a great place.
That's where everyone finds me.
You're on Facebook too, though, Nigel, so don't overlook that. Right?
Oh, you found me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say LinkedIn, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. So what's important to include when sharing your infographic? It's sort of a trick question. There are a couple of things that it could be.
Contact information?
Yep, contact information, absolutely. You want to name your file what? When you upload your infographic to LinkedIn?
Your name.
Has your name in it in a position. At least that's what you said.
Yes, that's what I said, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really important, right? Because that becomes searchable in the Google world, in the Google universe. So.
Yeah, good point.
And then the last question is, when will you post your announcement, right? When are you going to announce to the world that you've got this wonderful new infographic? Set a date for yourself so that you'll commit to getting that done. Timeline slip, I get that, but if you don't set any date, then that's never going to happen. So set a date that you want to get this done by, to announce on LinkedIn or wherever you're going to announce it. You may test it out on Facebook first with your friends and family first and get that feedback, and then say, okay, I'm ready to launch on LinkedIn. And then a week later, launch it on LinkedIn. Well, it's up to you. You may want to just email it to a few friends first and get feedback. But this tool is awesomely great for networking. So the next time you are going to have a meeting with somebody that you don't know or you haven't talked to in a while, rather than sending them your resume, which you should never do anyway, send them your infographic and say, hey, I'm attaching an infographic I created to sort of help guide the conversation and give an overview of my career experience. They're going to love it. Because what percentage of the population are visual learners?
Most.
65%. So then we get to, ta-da! You all can right? So it's already 3 o'clock. Time flies when you're having fun. I have had a wonderful, wonderful time with you all. And I want to thank you for being here and being a part of this. I want to thank Stacy for hosting this. Thank you to the Macedon Library. Thank you for all of you for being here.
Thank you. Yes, thank you
Really
to all of
wonderful,
you.
Hannah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it
Thank
so
you,
much.
Thank you, Hannah. And
Mondays
thank
won't
you
seem the
to
same
Google.
since.
You have my email, so if you need to send me something, please do. I'm happy to take a look.
Okay. Thank
Will
you.
do, Hannah.
Thank you much.
Bye.
Bye.
Any questions, you know who to email also. Bye.
Thanks, Stacey.
Thank you.